Hello, my friends, and welcome to the MMA Grand and Pan Show. I'm your host, Enrique Solorzano, and welcome to the BarnBurner TV Network on Zingo TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the BarnBurner and Zingo TV apps in the respective App Store on iOS and Android devices. Both apps are free. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast and Chromecast TV sticks, Amazon Fire and Fire TV sticks, Roku and Roku TV sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Okay, so we have a lot of to talk about. Good fights this weekend. This card really delivered. So we're going to talk about UFC Fight Night Santos versus Teixeira results. Like I said, we had very good fights, some unexpected results. We're going to go through them. Then I would like to talk about what's next for Teixeira and for Santos. Then I would like to talk about Blachowicz' hard task ahead. As the new light heavyweight champion, he has a lot of challengers, and that division is pretty stacked. And at last, I would like to talk about to respect the fighter. So, as you may know, or if you don't know, getting up there and fighting another, fighting an opponent who wants the same thing as you win, it's not an easy task. So we're gonna go through that as well. So let's start with results. Okay, so as I always do, I'm gonna give you the results. We're gonna go through them, and then I will let you know if my pick was was right or if I failed. So okay, first of all, the first fight of the night was Jan Xiaonan versus Claudia Gadela, and Xiaonan, got the W by unanimous decision, and this happened on the women strawweight division. So at first, Xiaonan, she came to this fight being 6-0. So this fight pretty promised a lot. So at first, the first round was pretty close for both fighters. Then Gadela, she started pretty aggressive, but she started backing off on the next round. So on the second round, Xiaonan, she started dominating. She was going forward, but she was being cautious. Gadela, instead, she was going forward. She was willing to connect. She wanted to connect, but she wasn't being very careful. So trying to hit Xiaonan, she was dropping her guard. She was being more interested in connecting punches than being smart. So yeah, Xiaonan got W. She's a very promising fighter. Some people, they want to give her a title shot. I don't think so. I don't think she's right there yet, but she has a pretty good future. So on this fight, I was right. I picked Xiaonan, and my train of thought was that she was 5-0. Sorry, she was 6-0. Now she's 7-0. And I like her style because she's aggressive, but she's very smart. Gadela, she's aggressive as well, but she was getting desperate at the end. She just wanted to connect, and when she was doing that, she was leaving spots open. So, well, I think Gadela, she needs to go back to the drawing board and watch the tape and see what was her problem in this fight. Okay, so on the next fight, this fight was scrapped, so we had new fighters, so to speak. So on this fight was Giga Chikadze versus Jamie Simmons, and Chikadze, he got the W by TKO, and this happened on the featherweight division. So like I said, the scheduled fight was scrapped, and we got this fight instead. There was an easy fight for Chikadze and a fast one as well, a quick fight. So for Chikadze, it was his fifth fight on the UFC, and it was a pretty quick fight. At the beginning, both fighters were figuring out the range. And about entering the minute 4 on the first round, Chikadze, he connected a very good body shot. Then he followed that by a nasty head kick. And he got the win. This was a great performance by Chikadze. He has a promising future ahead. And after the fight, he was talking to Dana White. So good things are coming up for Chikadze. For this fight, like, I didn't make any predictions because the arena fight was scrapped. So I didn't get it right and I didn't get it wrong. So, so we're 1 out of 1. Okay, so for the next fight, we have Raoni Barcelos defeats Khalid Taha by unanimous decision on the bantamweight division. So at first, both fighters were being cautious. Not a lot of action going on. On the second round, Barcelos, he looked more dominant. At the end of the second round, he connected some good shots. On the third round, Taha, he was connecting some good shots as well. He was looking more confident. At the end of the third round, both fighters were throwing down. It wasn't an easy fight for neither of these fighters, but Barcelos, he was more dominant. For this one, I got it right. I picked Barcelos. My train of thought for this fight, it was that Barcelos, he won the Ultimate Fighter. He has a lot of experience in the UFC, and he's also an aggressive fighter. So same thing for as Chikadze. Barcelos is a very promising fighter on the bantamweight division, and let's see what the future holds for him. So we're 2 out of 2, eh? Okay, so the co-main event of the evening, and also by unanimous decision on the heavyweight division. So this fight was very different than I thought, because both fighters are aggressive and these guys are heavy punchers, are heavy hitters. So when you have this situation, you know that one punch can change the entire fight, and if you blink, you may miss it. So yeah, on the first round, both fighters were taking their time, not a lot of action going on. Like I said, one punch can change the entire fight, so you have to be careful. So on the second round, both fighters, they connected a little bit more, not a lot of action still. On the third round, things kept going the same. So by the third round, we had a total of 50 strikes. So not a lot of action going on, which made this fight very hard to judge. So it was a close fight, not because there was a lot of action. It was because the judges had to see who connected the more significant strikes. So yeah, Arlovsky was the one who won. I think he won fair and square. He really connected the more significant strikes, but he needs to be more active if he wants to take the top guys on the division. He's 41. He's in his 40s, so he's a veteran. But I think that he still doesn't have what it takes to be with the top guys, because the heavyweight division, you have killers over there like Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic. So he needs to step up his game. For this one, I got it right. I picked Arlovsky, and my train of thought with this fight was that Arlovsky, he needed to win, because he was on a 3-fight losing streak. So he needed to win. Otherwise, maybe he could have his release from the UFC. Okay, so let's move to the main event of the evening. So we have that Glover Teixeira beats Thiago Santos by submission on the light heavyweight division. So check this out. Teixeira, he's 41, while Santos is 36 years old. So this fight was very exciting. At first, Santos, he was throwing bombs. He was going all the way with his punches. He was punching with all of his body, right? He was carrying all of his weight with his punches. So he looked focused. He looked like ready to kill. He landed one shot that brought Teixeira down. I thought the fight was done, right? The Teixeira, he wrestled him, and he could weather the storm. So he survived that round. On the second round, Teixeira, he took Santos to the ground. He did some ground and pound, and that was his strategy. Very smart for Teixeira, because he thought that Santos is a heavy striker. So why I think the best thing I could do, take him to the ground, right? So that's what Teixeira did. So on the third round, Santos he connected a powerful shot that took Teixeira to the ground, and he kept throwing punches at him. He was like doing hammer fist. He was throwing bombs, right? Santos was controlling the fight, and like the referee Herb Dean, he was on top of the action, and I think he was about to call off the fight, but I don't know where Teixeira got strength. I don't know where. He got up, he got on the back of Santos, and he got the submission. So this fight was really exciting, and this fight I got it wrong. I was picking Santos, and my train of thought with this fight is that, well, Teixeira, he's a very experienced fighter, but he's 41, right? And on this light heavyweight division, you have like killers that are very young. Santos, he's 36, maybe not that young, but you have Dominic Reyes, and this weight class is very competitive. And Santos, he was taking a break from fighting. Well, he was recovering actually from his last fight against John Jones, and I think he was going to come back with all that he's got, right? He seemed powerful. He was in shape, but the thing is that Teixeira, he has been in this game for a long time. Teixeira, he was a very smart fighter. So, like I said on other of my shows, and like we have seen on some of the other fights, muscles don't win fights. Good strategy and being smart is what wins fights, what makes you win the fight. So that's what Teixeira did. Santos, he was a striker. He looked very powerful. I think he got Teixeira a couple of times, so he felt the power of Santos, and he like took the fight to the ground. Very smart thing to do by Teixeira. Santos, at the end of the fight, like after the fight, he tweeted that he wasn't there and he apologized. I think he was there, and I think he feels bad because he was about to win. He was like this to get W, but well, like he's still young. He can get back to the win column and maybe get another title shot. So, like I said, very exciting fights. If you miss it, I'm sorry for you because it was really good. You can watch it again if you have a UFC Fight Pass. Okay, so then I would like to talk about what's next for these fighters. So, like I said, we had an amazing fight this Saturday. These guys delivered. So Teixeira, what's next for Teixeira? He was ranked number 4 and he beat the number 1. So what could make sense is that he should face the champ. But Blachowicz, he has other plans. He wants to fight at Sanja. So after Teixeira's win, everybody wants to see that fight. Everybody wants to give Teixeira his title shot because he's 41. This might be his last chance to get the gold, right? Honestly, I think Teixeira, he needs to have another fight. I think he should face Dominic Reyes. That fight will be fireworks. Why? Because it will be like youth versus experience. You have a young guy, powerful guy, Dominic Reyes, who had an amazing fight with John Jones. With Blachowicz, I don't know what happened, but he's a very good fighter. And you have Teixeira, who like he's on a winning streak. He's a killer. He's very experienced. He's very smart. So this fight will be a really good fight, and I think it will sell because, like I said, you could market it like youth versus experience, the old UFC versus the new UFC, the new breed, which I think Dominic Reyes is a perfect example of the new breed of fighters, right? So yeah, that fight will be really really awesome. So well, for Santos, what's next for Santos? So I think he could face, let's say, if Teixeira gets his title shot, he could face Reyes. Like I said, like I really like Reyes. He's a very good fighter. I love what he did with John Jones. I was disappointed by what happened, like on the Blachowicz fight, but I don't know what happened. Don't get me wrong. Blachowicz is a hell of a fighter. He's a deserving champ. So, but I want to see him I want to see him fight again. And Santos like will be a good fight because Santos he's a very powerful fighter. And Reyes he's powerful but he's smart. So there will be a challenge to both of them because Santos, this fight will like could help him get back his confidence, right? Or maybe he could face Ozdemir, right? Ozdemir, he was a very promising fighter. He faced Daniel Cormier. He was the champ back then. And for all Ozdemir, he has been like on a losing streak, so that will help him as well. Let's say if he faced Santos and Ozdemir win, like he could give his career, Ozdemir's career, another push. So as I said, Santos he's a very good fighter. He is in the top three, even if he lost. And he tweeted that he wasn't there that night, and I apologize. I think that okay, you're not proud about your performance that night, but I don't see the need to apologize. He was about to win. He looked really good, and I disagree when he said that he wasn't there. So let's see what's next for these fighters. Amazing fights. They're gonna give us amazing fighters. So on these scenarios, nobody loses. All win. Fighters and fans, right? Okay. So then let's talk about Blachowicz' hard task ahead. So now he is the new champ, and somebody said, like I read that it's not as hard like to get to be a champ. What is hard is to keep being the champ, right? So Blachowicz, he did it. He's the champ. He got the W. He has the belt. So now he has a lot of challenges going on. So first of all, Adesanya, he wants Blachowicz belt. So if they fight, like there will be an opportunity for Adesanya to become a champ to belong to that select group of champs where Daniel Cormier is there, Henry Cejudo, Conor McGregor. So that fight will be interesting. But with Teixeira's win this weekend, fans are asking for that fight. They're saying that Adesanya can wait, and they're like, please give the man his title shot. So yeah, like I'm not like I'm totally okay with that. I agree. He deserves it. And yeah, like this weight class is one of the most competitive weight classes in the UFC, if not the most competitive. And yeah, for Glover Teixeira, he's on a roll. He's powerful. He's aggressive. Plus, he's a very experienced fighter. And Adesanya is a great challenge for him. So it's funny how some people in this scenario, when they fight, they're like, okay, so when Adesanya wins, he's gonna become the double champ. So Blachowicz, he's not an easy fight. Yeah, I love Adesanya's style. He's an amazing fighter and he has done amazing things. And he's like 30, 31 years old. But Blachowicz, he's a deserving champ. He's a great champ. And yeah, like Blachowicz, he has a hard task ahead. Let's say if he faced Teixeira, that's a hard fight too. I think facing Adesanya will be a bigger challenge for Blachowicz. But Teixeira, he's a hell of a fighter as well. So like if he wants to defend that belt, if he wants to keep that belt with him, he has to train hard, and he has not to take things for granted, right? Okay, so now to wrap up the show, I would like to talk about this thing that I will call respect the fighter. Respect the fighter. So during the week, I was on Twitter, and then I saw that an MMA analyst from a well-known MMA media outlet, he said that one of UFC's card was weak, and he implied that he didn't want to do his job with those fights. He like, I hope I don't have to watch that card, right? I hope I don't have to work that day. And then he was called off by John Kavanagh. Who's John Kavanagh? He's Conor McGregor's coach. He was telling all the fighters, he was like, remember who is in your corner from the start, and remember this moment when you become a well-known fighter and people will be begging for interviews. So, like, as you know, or if you don't know, MMA is a very demanding sport. Like fighters, they put their livelihoods and they put their health on the line every time they get into the octagon. Like they put a lot of risk, like no athlete does it. So if you know this sport, you know, if not firsthand, if you haven't been in a fight or if you haven't trained MMA, like I can tell you, it takes a lot of courage to get up there. Like I haven't done MMA on that level, but I train karate, and every time we had to fight, it's it takes courage. You have to know your feelings, and you need to control your mind and your body, right? Because when you're there, boom, adrenaline start rushing. Uh, Maybe you have a game plan, and like Mike Tyson said, like everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the face. So it's a test, man. Like being up there, it's hard. So let me tell you, if it like it takes you a lot of courage to face somebody who wants the same as you to win. So respect your fighters. So okay, so that's everything for today. Remember, we have a UFC event this Saturday. Tune in Monday for results and analysis, and Wednesday for predictions at 7 p.m. The MMA Grand and Pound Show. Follow BarnBurner Net. We're on Instagram and Facebook. This is a conversation. Let me know what you think at Enrique Drums MX. This show can also be heard on the BarnBurner Radio Network on its 122 platforms. Please check out barnburner.ca for all the news. BarnBurner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, leave it. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.